To talk about the UN support plan on the Sahel, I would like to go back to the fact that the countries from the Sahel, as any other countries in the region and on the continent, are facing some structural problems that we know: lack of diversification, lack of transformation, unemployment, youth unemployment. They are facing deficit in infrastructure. But during the last 2 decades, we have seen some factors that came to exacerbate the problems that these countries from the Sahel are facing, namely the effect of climate change. One example of that is the Lake Chad, which is now at 1/10 of the area that it was covering 40 years ago. This has serious implications on people who are living around that Lake Chad. You also have a lot of insecurity in the region, which is now coming to exacerbate the problems that the countries from the Sahel are facing. Several partners, financial and technical partners, have been working with countries from the Sahel to try to deal with these issues, including the United Nations. In 2013, the United Nations prepared what is called the United Nations Integrated Strategy for the Sahel to help countries deal with the challenges that they are facing with. 3 years of implementation later, this strategy was evaluated. There were a number of issues with the strategy, including lack of coordination among UN agencies, lack of ownership by member states, and the magnitude and the scale of the interventions. That is why the United Nations has started during the last year working on the UN support plan. UN support plan because this is supposed to come and support countries to deal with the challenges that they are facing, putting countries themselves in the driving seat. This plan is supposed to recalibrate the original strategy. It is supposed to scale up the intervention. And third, it is supposed to make sure that countries are in the driver's seat. This UN support plan from the Sahel is being prepared and will be implemented by all UN agencies, funds, programs, and the Secretariat. It is led at the level of the continent by the United Nations Office on for West Africa and the Sahel, under the leadership of Dr. Chambers, and the United Nations Development Group, which is made of Director General of UN Fund and Programs based in Dakar. It also involves the Secretariat, like the Economic Commission for Africa, that is represented in West Africa, our office based in Niamey. As mentioned in the evaluation of the original United Nations Integrated Strategy for the Sahel, there was lack of ownership. So when the UN started working on the UN support plan for the Sahel, we made sure that at every stage we are actually involving member states. As you know, the Conference of African Ministers of Finance, Planning and Economic Development brings to Addis Ababa the 54 member states to discuss issues pertaining to the development of the continent. So we are trying to seize this opportunity to also engage with the 10 countries from the Sahel on the preparation and the implementation of the UN support plan. We expect to have the 10 countries from the Sahel have a better understanding of what we are planning to do, how we are going to scale up our intervention as the UN in support of countries of the Sahel. We also expect technical and financial partners will be participating in this event to make sure that they understand the magnitude, they understand the intervention of the UN and support them, especially in terms of resource mobilization. And finally, we would like to have any other participant to be aware of the work of the UN on the Sahel and to see in which way they can support this work to the benefit of people from the Sahel.